Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of Pain to Power, empowering you to heal from trauma, loss, and emotional wounds. Today, we're diving into a topic that I think so many of us need to hear, especially if you've ever felt like making changes in your life just felt too big, too heavy, or too overwhelming. We're talking about micro choices. Those small daily decisions that over time create massive transformation. Because here's the truth. Lasting change doesn't come from one big dramatic leap. It comes from the accumulation of small steps, the choices we make moment by moment, day after day. And when we understand both the neuroscience of habit formation and the spiritual principle of shifting our energy, we realize that even the tiniest choice can be powerful. So let's start with the science. Our brains are wired to keep us safe, which often means sticking to what feels familiar, even if that familiarity is painful or destructive. The good news is that our brains are also capable of change, or what is scientifically known as neuroplasticity. The ability to form new connections, new patterns, and new ways of being. Every time you choose a new thought or a new behavior, even for just a few seconds, you're literally rewiring your brain. That's why repeating small habits over and over works better than trying to overhaul everything overnight. Think of it like carving a new path in the woods. The more times you walk that path, the clearer it becomes. On the spiritual side, every choice you make shifts your energy. When you choose gratitude over complaining or self-compassion over self-criticism, you're raising your vibration. And when your vibration rises, life begins to mirror that energy back to you. This is why the small stuff matters. A micro choice doesn't change the moment you're in. It compounds, building momentum, rewiring your mind, and shifting your spirit. I like to think of micro choices as tiny hinges that swing big doors. They may seem almost insignificant in the moment, but over time they open up incredible possibilities. Here are some simple examples. Choosing to pause and take one deep breath before reacting in anger. Saying one kind thing to yourself in the mirror instead of criticizing. Drinking a glass of water before your morning coffee. Writing down just one thing you're grateful for before bed. Stepping outside for 2 minutes of sunlight before starting your day. Sitting for just 2 minutes, noticing your breathing pattern. None of these take very long, but they each shift your brain chemistry and your energy field. They build confidence, and perhaps most importantly, they create evidence that you can change. And over time, you can increase your dedication to these practices little by little. Now, let's talk about a few powerful practices you can start to layer into your life. And remember, you don't need to do them all at once. Choose one, start small, let it grow from there. 1. Morning rituals. A morning ritual doesn't have to mean a 90-minute yoga session or an hour of journaling. It can be as simple as taking 2 minutes before you grab your phone to connect with yourself. Here's one example. Take 3 deep breaths. Say one affirmation. Stretch your body gently. Set an intention for the day. That's it. 2 minutes. The reason this is powerful is that it primes your brain for the day. Neurologically, you're setting up your reticular activating system. That's the part of your brain that filters information to notice opportunities and experiences that match your intention. Spiritually, you're aligning your energy so that the day flows more smoothly. Number 2, affirmations. Affirmations are not about lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. They are about repetition, creating a new neural pathway, and teaching your mind to look for possibility instead of limitation. If you don't know where to start, here are some affirmations you might like to explore for this journey. I celebrate small steps. I am becoming more compassionate towards myself every day. I choose progress over perfection. Every breath brings me back into balance. I intend to notice the goodness in the world today. Say them out loud, write them down, put them on sticky notes where you'll see them. Over time, your subconscious mind begins to accept these as truths, and your energy starts to align with them. Number 3, gratitude journaling. Gratitude is one of the most well-researched practices in psychology. Studies show it not only boosts mood, but also strengthens neural circuits associated with optimism and resilience. Spiritually, gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can embody. It opens your heart and invites more blessings. You don't need a fancy journal or a long list. Start with just one sentence. Today, I'm grateful for ... Maybe it's your morning coffee, your pet snuggles, or the fact that you got out of bed. Small acknowledgments open the door to greater joy. Number 4, mindful breaks. Throughout the day, we accumulate stress, tension, and overstimulation. That's why mindful breaks are so important. These can be as short as 1 minute. Here are a few you can try. Take 3 slow, deep, intentional breaths. Put your hand over your heart and notice your heartbeat. Step outside, feel your feet on the ground, and look at the sky. Do a quick body scan, relaxing your shoulders and unclenching your jaw. These tiny pauses regulate your nervous system and help prevent burnout. Now, I want to touch on something really important: the trap of trying to do it all at once. How many times have you decided, that's it, I'm changing my whole life starting tomorrow? You buy the journals, you set your alarm for 5 a.m., you plan a workout, a meditation, a green smoothie, a gratitude list, and by day 3, you're exhausted, discouraged, and convinced you're a failure. I've been there too. I remember times when I wanted to transform everything about myself overnight. I'm not very patient, only to collapse under the weight of unrealistic expectations. The truth is, the failure wasn't me. It was the structure I set up. It wasn't sustainable. So what does sustainability actually look like? One of the most effective approaches I've found is something called habit stacking. This simply means attaching a new positive habit to something you're already doing every day, so it feels natural instead of forced. B.J. Fogg, in his book Tiny Habits, teaches that when we shrink our goals down to their smallest form and anchor them to an existing routine, they become almost effortless to maintain. For example, if you already make coffee in the morning, you could use the 2 minutes while it brews to repeat an affirmation or jot down one thing you're grateful for. When you brush your teeth at night, that can become a trigger to take 3 mindful breaths just before bed. By linking new behaviors to existing routines, your brain has an easier time remembering them, and before long, they become second nature. Real change doesn't happen through extremes. It happens through consistency. Micro progress is progress. A single affirmation, a single breath, a single act of kindness towards yourself. those are victories worth celebrating. So if you've been hard on yourself for not sticking with big plans, I want you to release that judgment right now. You didn't fail. You just needed a gentler, more sustainable approach. So how do we integrate this into daily life? My invitation is simple. Choose one micro choice this week. Not 10, not 5, one. Maybe it's writing down one thing you're grateful for at night. Maybe it's saying one affirmation in the morning. Maybe it's pausing for mindful breath before a tough conversation. Whatever you choose, let it be small, simple, and doable. Once it feels natural, you can add another, and then another. Over time, these micro choices become your lifestyle. Here's a visualization I love. Imagine a drop of water hitting a still pond. Blink. That one drop creates ripples that spread outward farther than you can see. Every micro choice you make is like that drop, sending ripples of healing, growth, and possibility through your life. Remember, beautiful souls, your healing doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. You don't need to leap the whole staircase. You just need to take the next step, and then the next one, and the next one, and so on. So today we talked about the power of micro choices, how neuroscience shows us they rewire the brain, how spirituality reminds us they shift our vibration, and how small daily practices like morning rituals, affirmations, gratitude journaling, and mindful breaks can set us on the path to transformation. My encouragement for you is to pick one and start today. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait to feel ready. Just start small and trust that those small steps will lead you somewhere beautiful. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at Empowered by the Storm. And check out my resources at empoweredbythestorm.com. And as always, remember, you have the power to transform your pain into purpose, your wounds into wisdom, and your small choices into a life of freedom and joy. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself and keep choosing love, one micro step at a time.